On the wheels of steel, you know what it is, crazy mixing.
Yes, my brother, no other. Tell you the truth, you straight for the roof. Change your ways, I know they did you. My brother, and wish make you prosper. You know like the pastor, become a superstar. What's the get? If you know, send me home. People plenty, will send me home. I'm not alone, my days alone. My brother say, joy is here, you know. speak my mind. My brother, he know it right to say what he want to say. And you can do what you want to do. In heaven knows that I love you. But my pride need to change my attitude. I can say you will send me, but I send you. Heaven knows that I have nothing against you. But in a little bit of change, make me this straight. On the past and throw the past. I didn't play for you. Brother, make you prosper too. Brother, make you wish me the same thing too. Brother, blessings for your brother, blessings for your sister, blessings for your family too. Brother, me and you, we know the water, he go better, make me know where the past is like water. Leave a waka, if I pour you on the water, make you pour me on the water bar. You know, send me, people plenty, send me, not alone, nothing's alone. My brother say, John is giving me. But if I need to be changed, make me this place for the past and for the past away. Make you wish me the same thing, I know the past is what you say to me. And you're natural, we see coolest enjoy.
Humphrey, as well as our team manager, NTA Edwin Chidebere. And in case you don't know, of course, Kun Khalifat have been in a good start, of course, since they started, of course, these NNL campaign. Let me, of course, take you back to history, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, because it's important as regards this particular game as well as this particular fixture. First of all, of course, let me introduce myself. My name is K Park. They call me the Supremacy Papito. And, of course, if you call me Ofujan and Moflo Namoko, I will answer, of course. I'll be right here giving you a commentary as well as, of course, every activity that goes down here as far as this game is concerned. Not to forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is match day 13 of the Nigerian National League. Well, of course, let me take you back to history because it's important as far as today's encounter is concerned. Let me talk about, of course, this team they call Kun Khalifat FC. I know most of you don't know the genesis as well as, of course, the beginning point of this beautiful team. I'll tell you in a jiffy. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about Kun Khalifat FC here today. Quick one, let me let you know. I know you don't know. Let me, of course, refresh your memory live right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Talking about, of course, yes, Kun Khalifat FC. They have seen it all. They have done it all. And they have been very instrumental, since the beginning of this NNL campaign. And the funny part is they are topping their group. Ladies and gentlemen, they are actually topping their group. I must tell you, that's to tell you, of course, how far these players have gone. And, of course, the approach that they have given as regards, of course, this team, I must say, right here. Well, of course, like I said before, I'll be live here giving you all necessary commentary as well as, of course, happenings as regards this particular encounter. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere as well as a good outing here as far as we're concerned. And, of course, talking about this team, talking about, yes, Kun Khalifat, ladies and gentlemen, do you know that Kun Khalifat, they reached the NLO playoff, that was in 2021, and they also won the ITO Cup 2022 right here in Imo State. Not to forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Kun Khalifat FC also won the Nationwide League One, the NLO, that was in 2022 to actually gain promotion to the Nigerian National League, that's the NNL. I know you don't know, but of course, now you know about this. They have actually seen it all. They played, of course, in the NLO. They got the promotion they deserved. And, of course, here they are still in, the NNL, doing wonders for themselves, I must say. A very good team at their best, doing wonders, I must tell you right here. Well, of course, not to forget their last game, ladies and gentlemen. It was, of course, a good game. But let me recap for you quickly. That the last home match for, of course, Kun Khalifat, was against Madiba. If you recall, of course, they won to Lagos. And, yes, Madiba defeated them 1-0. But I must tell you, yes, they came back here at the Memorial Dan Anyiam Stadium to fight hard, and they defeated Madiba, whitewashed them 3-1 in that particular game. And of course, their last away game, if you recall, ladies and gentlemen, was against Abakaliki FC. That game ended goalless of course, in Abakaliki. Right here and right now, of course, they have another game at hand. Today, of course, is going to be a mind-blowing encounter. This time, it is against, yes. This time, of course, going to be against Gateway United FC. Well, of course, we have some good things to expect as far as this game is concerned. Firstly, of course, giving you the lineup of today's encounter. Of course, yes, you have, yes, Akuchie, you have Ame, you have, yes, Umorie, you have, yes, Akano, you have Okoro, you have Peter, you have Ame Fula, you have, yes, Nwokorie, you have Izuchuku, you have Julius, and of course, you have Abere. These are the starting lineup for Kun Khalifat FC. And also, of course, in the sub bench here, you have Owando Chizoba, you have, yes, Uhura Onyedika, you have, yes, Abdulaziz Owakan, you have, yes, Chijoke, you have Telo Adebayo, you have Chinedu Sunday, you have Ade his Sunday, you have Nwodo Daniel, and of course, you have Joseph Abiodo. These, of course, are the bench for Kun Khalifat FC. Not forgetting also the lineup, yes, for Gateway United, ladies and gentlemen. The starting lineup, you have Balogun Olalekan, you have Bisayo Ademola, you have, yes, Ari Bisala Timilehin, you have Olayemi Mayewa, you have Emmanuel Odio, you have, yes, of course, Oluwa Sheyi, you have, yes, Oluwa Nisan Suberu, you have Amoli Mutiu, you have Babatunde Taufik, and of course, you have Odunsi Sun Kanami. You also have Samuel Christian, who is the captain of Gateway United. And of course, for the sub for Gateway United, you have, of course, Rahim Ibrahim. You have Adeleye Olamilekan. You have Adeniyi Biodun. You have Sani Jamil. You have Busari Tijani. You have, of course, Tijani Aleoju. You have, yes, Famuyiwa Oluwa, yes, Femi. Of course, these are the, yes, sub of bench for Gateway United. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'll be here giving you unnecessary commentary, like I said before. Back-to-back action as far as this game is concerned, I tell you. And of course, yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course, yes, also giving you another update as regards this encounter, like I told you before. If you look at, of course, yes, the conference table, you have the conference A, and of course, you have the conference B. For the conference B, of course, you have, yes, Kun Khalifa, who are topping the table. They have a record 29 points. That's very huge and very marvelous, if you ask me. And also, you have Osun United, who are second on the log with 24 points. You have Sporting Lagos FC, who are third with 18 points. You have Solution FC, who are fourth, yes, with 18 points also. You have Rovers FC, who are fifth with 17 points. You also have First Bank FC, who are sixth with 16 points. You have Godswill Akpabio FC, who are seventh with 15 points. You have Madiba FC, who are 13th. You have ABS FC, who are 13th. You have Abakaliki FC, who are 11th. And of course, you have Gateway United FC, who are 8th. They are, of course, maintaining the bottom spot on the log. And of course, they are here today live and direct at the Dan Anyiam Stadium to battle, of course, almighty Kun Khalifat FC. I call them, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifat, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you, of course, they have seen it all. They have shown magic, and of course, they have showed precision, I must tell you, as far as their performance level is concerned. Kudos to their coach, of course, yes, Obinna. Like I told you before, he was, of course, awarded the best coach, you know, in the NLL for last month. That's to tell you, of course, he's a coach that understands the basis of his tactics and the kind of football he wants to play. Well, of course, we are ready and steady, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime from now, of course, should be the official kickoff of this prestigious encounter. But for now, of course, the players are still warming up. Till then, wait for more updates and commentary from me. Bye for now. And of course, yes, ladies and gentlemen, also live here giving you commentary as regards this beautiful encounter between, of course, Kun Khalifat FC and, yes, Gateway United. Alright, of course, yes, I must yes give kudos to the president of Kun Khalifat FC, the president of Mr. Chukudi Amefula. Yes, of course, Simons, of course, Tade Aziz. Yes, in case you don't know, people are the president of Kun Khalifat Football Club of Owerri, right here in Imo State. Yes, you know, has actually revealed his profound shock and sadness over the demise of a former president of the Nigerian Referee Association, Otumba Tade Aziz. The former referee, of course, was announced dead on Friday, 25th April 2025, after a short illness. Amen. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. A big amen to that. And of course, like I told you, of course, anytime from now, it is the official kickoff of this particular encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like I told you, it is match day 13 of the Nigerian National League, the one they call NNL. The battle, of course, begins here for the Kun Khalifat Warriors, like I will call them. They are to battle, of course, yes, Gateway United. But, of course, all things fall apart, ladies and gentlemen. It will not be an easy task, I must say, yes, for Gateway United. Because if you check the log, they are currently sitting, you know, at the bottom of the log, according to, of course, yes, the NNL log, I must tell you. Like I told you before, if you look at, of course, yes, the Conference B log, you are going to see that, of course, Kun Khalifa actually topping the table with 29 points. Oshu United, of course, occupies second position with 24 points. You have Sporting Lagos, who are third with 18 points. You have Solution FC, who are fourth with 18 points. You have Rovers FC, who are fifth with 17 points. You have First Bank FC, of course, who are 16th. I think with 16 points here. You also have Godswill Akpabio FC, who are 15th. I think 15 points there. You have Madiba, who we are having 13 points. You have ABS FC, who are 13th. Also, you have Abakaleke FC, who are 11th. You have Gateway United FC, who are 8th. Yes, of course, they are last on the log, and they're doing battle today against, yes, Kun Khalifat FC. Of course, you can hear, yes, from the atmosphere, the anthem of Kun Khalifat FC. You should know that, of course, every club who has passion as well as, of course, the greed for growth should have a particular, you know, of course, anthem, I must tell you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's high time we actually expect the final out of the players in their numbers. Of course, before we begin proceedings here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, I must tell you, it's a very, of course, a very cloudy as well as, of course, of course, good atmosphere right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. And, of course, yes, all things being equal, we pray for, of course, a much-needed victory for Kun Khalifat FC, who are already sitting, of course, in a golden table and, of course, in a golden chair because they actually top the group and they are the kings of the NLL, you can call them, because every Imolites are happy with their performance so far, so good. They have been putting smiles and, of course, happiness in the faces of every sport-loving Nigerian, not only in Imo State, but all over Nigeria. Waiting, of course, yes, for the players to step out in their numbers for also begin proceedings live right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Recall, of course, like I told you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, that the last home game here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, we saw, of course, yes, Kun Khalifat dismantle Madiba FC 3-1. But before that, they actually went to Lagos. And yes, Madiba FC defeated them 1-0. And they came back to fight for that victory. And they had to defeat them 3-1. I mean, there was an atmosphere that we saw after some clips of that game was played. We saw a little boy, a ball boy, that showed some kind of, you know, relentlessness, as well as, of course, showed some kind of, you know, as well as support for the team, talking about Kun Khalifat FC. And, of course, rumors have it that that ball boy is going to be honored for that great love and, of course, a great reciprocation of love to the Kun Khalifat FC. I mean, you could see the happiness in the face of that ball boy, the way he rejoiced after that goal went in. It was a clear header, and it went into the back of the net. And that, of course, a young boy was so happy. He didn't know when he had to jump up and, of course, rejoice to that goal. It was a beautiful goal. And, of course, if you permit me to say, that's the kind of goal you call Onuseruaka. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're ready for some electrifying moments right here. And you can see, of course, some press briefing with the head coach of the side, talking about, of course, Coach Obinna, who has been doing well, if you ask me. He has, of course, proven his worth as far as, I mean, his potentials are concerned. And, of course, he's actually, of course, moving his CV to the next level, if you ask me. Beautiful ladies and gentlemen. I must say, of course, yes, kudos to the technical advisor of Kun Khalifat FC, talking about, yes, Coach Ozo Obinna. I recall that, of course, I think last month he was awarded the best coach of the Nigerian National League. That's the NNL. I must tell you, of course, that's a boost to his CV, if you ask me. And I believe, of course, the sky will be his limit from here. And let's hope to see, of course, if he keeps that kind of charisma, as well as, of course, a tactical play with his team. But again, of course, I suppose that everyone is ready here, as well as, of course, all the team members and, yes, the technical crew of Kun Khalifat FC. Like I told before, of course, it is a big game, and let's wait to see what the outcome of this game will be like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, here we go now. Those are the ball boys, and, of course, making their way out, of course, from the tunnel. So prepare, yes, that's the referees as well as the match commissioner of this very encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's match day live here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. As we see, of course, yes, Kun Khalifat FC battle, of course, battle their counterparts, talking about, of course, yes, Gateway United live right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. You can see, of course, yes, Kun Khalifat FC in their red and black jersey as usual. And, of course, you have Gateway United in their green jersey. here, of course, to actually search for a victory. Let's see, of course, the outcome of this particular game. But I must tell you, of course, it's a tense game for Gateway United. Like I told you, they are sitting last on the log. Yes, of course, if you check the Conference B log of the Nigerian National League, you get to see, of course, where you find, yes, Gateway United. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a coincidence. You find Gateway United, yes, sitting with just 8 points, yes, on the Conference B table. I must tell you. Boys and girls, of course, yes, again, I must say it's match day 13 live here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. That's official handshake between, of course, yes, the Gateway players and the officials as we prepare for action live right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Also coming in, of course, the treasurer of the team. Talking about, of course, AGK Hisense, who just walked into this beautiful auditorium. You're welcome, my brother. And, of course, yes, they're getting set to reward that young man who made name for himself by screaming and rejoicing for joy as, you know, of course, he was being, of course, captured by the camera. You can see the joy in his face when he shouted for joy. I mean, they do say in our local palace, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, to whom much is given, much is expected. That's the reward of 100,000 to him as the fan of the month. I must say, of course, all kudos and all much more, of course, respect. I must say, obrigado, gracias to the president of Kun Khalifat FC for recognizing this young lad who showed charisma, who showed love and support for the team in their last home game. That was against Madiba. That was against Madiba FC. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're ready for duty and, of course, waiting for official arrangement between the center referee and, of course, the two captains of the side before we begin proceedings live here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, I tell you. But, of course, like I told you, of course, at the bench for Kun Khalifa, you have, yes, their board members talking about, of course, down to the technical advisor, Uzo Obinna. You have the secretary, Oporum Humphrey. You have the team manager, NTA Edwin Chidebere. And, of course, it's a wonderful feeling. I recall, of course, in their last home game right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, they actually, you know, of course, did magic. They won against, yes, Madiba FC 3-1. And they went away to actually play a goalless draw against Abakaleke FC. Now, of course, they are back home again to battle, of course, Gateway United. Yes, no shaking at all, I must tell you, as far as this game is concerned. Because, of course, it is victory galore, if you ask me, for Kun Khalifat FC. Well, of course, let me give you the lineup, of course, as far as this game is concerned. Because, of course, we have the starting lineup as regards this important encounter going down here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. For the lineup, the goalkeeper, number 32 shirt is Akuchie. Number 33 shirt, of course, you have, yes, Ame, who is a centre-back. You also have, yes, Nworie, who is a centre-back, of course, donning the number 5 shirt. The number 13 shirt, of course, you have Akano, who is, of course, a right back. And number 14 shirt, you have Okoro, who is, of course, yes, defensive midfielder, donning the number 14 shirt. You also have Peter, who is the number 34 shirt, who is, of course, a left back. You also have, of course, the skipper of the side. I'm talking about, yes, Ame Fula, who is a central midfielder. You also have, of course, yes, that man they call, yes, Nwokorie, who is, of course, yes, yes, of course, also in the team. You have, yes, Ike Chuku, you have Julius, and, of course, you have Chidebere. And, of course, showing some support as well as applaud to their spectators as well as their fans. And that's the award, of course, you can see right there on your screen, the award. He presented it here to the supporters and lovers of good football. That's the award of being the best coach in the NLL for last month. Being, of course, showcased by Coach Obinna Uzo, a man who has proved his mettle as well as, of course, his tactical prowess, of course, to this team called Kun Khalifat FC. I call them, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifat, ladies and gentlemen. They are prepared to do battle again in their familiar home and venue. Talking about, of course, yes, the Dan Anyiam Stadium. And now waiting for the official anthem of Kun Khalifat FC. Ladies and gentlemen, like I told you before, any good team that wants to progress and, of course, has confidence as well as agility should as well, of course, have an anthem to boost their morale and spirit ahead of every game. And most importantly, ahead of every home game. It is very, very important, I tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And, of course, waiting for the official kickoff anytime from now. Ladies and gentlemen, the referees are set for duty as regards this particular encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that, of course, it's a huge game to expect. And you can hear, of course, yes, the anthem of Gateway United singing it to their bench and supporters before we begin proceedings here, ladies and gentlemen. Not to forget, of course, yes, Kun Khalifa have been doing a very good job back-to-back in their games. to have attained this feat on the table in the Conference B as far as the Nigerian National League is concerned. Let me also remind you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, of course, history has it, and we'll never forget the exploit that Kun Khalifa have done to actually get to this level, and of course, to this height, I must say, as far as this encounter is concerned. Not to forget, let me also inform you that, yes, of course, that is the official anthem of Kun Khalifat FC. Vibrancy from the boys, and you can see the skipper of the side talking about that man Ginger in his place, the number 6 man, of course, who was very active in their last home game and even in some away games. I must tell you right here, and of course, like I told you, history of course would never forget the trademark that of course Kun Khalifa have kept. Of course, if you recall, they reached the NLO playoff in 2021 and also won the ITO Cup in 2022 right here in the state of Imo State. Kun Khalifa, if you recall, also won the Nationwide League 1, that's the NLO 2025, to gain promotion. I must tell you, of course, to the Nigerian National League. That's, of course, some minute silence for, yes. That's a minute silence, of course, for that ref, Tade Aziz. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Of course, we are done for that. That's the official, of course, yes. 1 minute silence for the departed ex-referee international, talking about Tade Aziz. We are, of course, set for business as far as this encounter is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, recall it's match day 13 of the NLL campaign. And, of course, featuring lots of drama as well as, of course, enough vibes right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. It's a battle, of course, between the Warriors of Kun Khalifa and Gateway United, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting for the official kickoff from the center referee. Here we go, of course, that's the official kickoff from, yes, Gateway United. You have them, of course, looping the ball forward, and they wasted that one. It is out for a trade advantage this time quickly for Kun Khalifat FC. That's a looping header now. Here they come, well cleared, of course, by Gateway United. That's a good header, of course, from that centre back there for Kun Khalifa. Dispossessed there, of course, by Gateway United. That's a good pass there now. Beautiful skill from that player for Gateway United. Here they come in their numbers. A shot there, looping ball forward. Well defended by Kun Khalifa again. Still with the ball here, Gateway United. That's a wonderful cross there. And of course, that'll be later, I think, for a train advantage. This time, of course, Gateway United takes a quick throw. That's a looping cross there. They have a chance here. That player goes down. Referee says play on. Dancing around with the ball, of course, that player for Gateway United. This time dispossessed, cleared out by Kun Khalifa now. Well defended also there. That player goes down. Referee says play on. Here they come now, of course, in their numbers. The Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC. It's a good pass there to the keeper of the side, the captain. Here they come in their numbers again. It's a good ball, but of course, very easy catch for the goalkeeper for Gateway United. It's a good touch there from that player now, but it's been dispossessed by Gateway United. That's a good touch there now from that player. Here they come now. Well defended, of course, by Gateway United. Still retain position here, Kun Khalifa. That's a looping ball there forward. And of course, it is out for a true advantage this time, Gateway United. So throw now, of course, yes, for Gateway United. And of course, this time advantage will fall to Kun Khalifa FC. And of course, that man, Ekenechukwu, number 34 set. Quick one there. Well defended by Gateway United. Here they come now. In the numbers, playing attacking kind of football, where this possessed, of course, by Gateway United defense. And it's a train advantage. This time, Kun Khalifa. Here they come now. It's a good pass there to his nearest man. That's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very dangerous. It goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no. That was a clean penalty, but the referee just denied Kun Khalifa an early lead to this particular prestigious encounter. There was a clear touch there, but the referee says no. No penalty. You can see, of course, the anger in the face of the coach, the manager. Talking about, of course, yes, coach. Also been very disappointed at the years of officiating of that referee. And it was that man, the keeper of the side. Very dangerous, like I told you. Very insolent. He was just brought down right near the box. But the referee says play on. Very, very funny if you ask me right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen. It goes down. Is there a penalty? The captain of the side, very skillful. Amefula. He was the man who was brought down there. The number 4 shirt. A central midfielder, of course. But then again, yes, the referee just denied Kun Khalifa FC a golden opportunity. Back to proceedings here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Here they come now. Kun Khalifa, that man again, but this time it's out, of course, yes, for a true advantage this time, Kun Khalifa FC. Well headed out there, of course. That's a good pass there. That's a handball, of course. This time advantage to
nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very dangerous. It goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no. That was a clean penalty, but the referee.
That's to tell you, of course, that was a clear-cut penalty. But anyways, the referee had to say play on. That's a looping ball forward now. They have a chance here. Worked out, of course, by Gateway United. Here they come now with the ball now. Advantage now, Gateway United. I recall, of course, yes, Gateway United actually last on the log as far as the Conference B NNL table is concerned. They are sitting, yes, with just 8 points, I tell you. Here they come now, of course, Gateway United. That was too much from that player. Dispossessed there. And of course, that will be let out for our throwing advantage, Kun Khalifa. Throwing advantage this time, Gateway United, I beg your pardon. Here they come now in the numbers. That's a beautiful recovery there from that Gateway United player. Here they come again, of course, with possession now. Passing the ball left and right. Here they come now, very dangerous now. They have a chance here, across there. And of course, that could not penetrate and go beyond that point. This time, of course, recovery, of course, for, yes, Kun Khalifa FC. That's a foul now, advantage, Kun Khalifa FC. Attacking style of football has really prevailed for Kun Khalifa so far, so good if you ask me. Recall, of course, Kun Khalifa FC have been to the NLO, where they fought hard to win and gain promotion to be part of the Nigerian National League. They have seen it all. When I tell you, of course, they have a trademark of playing good football. Playing in the 3rd division of the Nigerian League and getting promotion to the 2nd division. To let you know, of course, this team have a target. And perhaps, of course, their target is to actually play in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very dangerous. It goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no.
Of course, in the earlier hours of this game, we have, of course, the skip.
Nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very
Totally unbelievable and, of course, unacceptable if you ask me. That's a looping ball forward now from that defense line of Kun Khalifa. A poor header there. The regain position here, talking about, of course, Kun Khalifa FC. That's a looping ball forward now, searching for the keeper of the side. But that was too much. He's been dispossessed. Here they come now. They have a chance here. Kun Khalifa. They have a chance. Oh, my word. That goalkeeper was very lucky, I tell you. That was a chance, of course, to actually bury the first goal of this encounter. Remember, of course, we're still in the first 45 minutes of this beautiful game. That's the first yellow card of this game. And, of course, it's been awarded to the number 33 shirt, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first yellow card of this encounter. It's been awarded to the number 33 shirts. I'm talking about that man for Kun Khalifa. The man they call, yes, Ama. He has, of course, got into the book of the referee. Ama for Kun Khalifa has been yellow carded. That's the first yellow card of this particular encounter.
nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous.
Takes a quick one. And of course, very wasteful if you ask me. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper for Kun Khalifa, Ovunda. Welcome, of course, yes, there by Gateway United. Here they come now, beauty from the back, Kun Khalifa. But been dispossessed there by Gateway United. They have to watch it. Here they have a chance. And of course, that one, very easy catch for Vunda, the goalkeeper for Kun Khalifa. I remember, of course, like I told you previously, ladies and gentlemen, if you check the current year's Conference B table of the NNL, I feel, of course, it's a job well done so far for Kun Khalifat FC. who still have everything to play for. But then again, of course, their display as well as, of course, points gained so far has been commendable. If you, of course, check very well, of course, the current Conference B table, you see that, yes, Kun Khalifa occupy the first position with a record 28 points. That's, of course, a very good one at that, I tell you. Yes, of course, like I told you, yes, Kun Khalifa incurring 29 points so far from the Conference B table. That's commendable enough, I tell you. That's a looping ball there. A very good catch, and of course, easy one to deal with for, yes, the goalkeeper for Kun Khalifa. Talking about Ovunda. Here they come now, India numbers. Talking about Kun Khalifa players. Counter-attacking here, left and right. And of course, don't forget this live commentary is brought to you by the media crew of Kun Khalifa FC, as well as, of course, Kun Khalifa TV, to ensure, yes, transparency as far as their games are concerned. Now, back a player goes down. That's a free kick there for Kun Khalifa. In a very good position there. And it's that man talking about, of course, the number 34 shirt, who, of course, steps up to the occasion. The number 34 shirt, talking about, yes, that man, Peter. He's the one, of course, yes, to actually take this free kick. Peter here, of course, to the rescue now for Kun Khalifa. He has a chance here to make it count. That's a good cross there. And, of course, nobody to actually bang that one. The ball was just rolling into the box. Still with possession here, Kun Khalifa. And that's, of course, a looping one forward there from that gateway player. Here to come now, of course, this time building from the back, talking about Kun Khalifa FC. Here to come, that's a beautiful touch from that player now. Now pressing forward now in attack. That player goes down, referee says play on. Here they have a chance here. A chance here, well defended by the eagle eyes of that defender. I'm talking about none other than that man who is very watchful. Is none other, ladies and gentlemen, than that man they call, yes, Kenechukwu, very active at the back. If you watch their game against Madiba FC, he showed masterclass as well as good performance here. Here they come now, of course, yes, Gateway United. A looping ball forward, very watched there for by defender for Kun Khalifa. Here they have a chance to break now. That's a good touch now to that man. Too much for him. Better luck next time, of course. That was too much for that player to chase, yes, for Kun Khalifa FC. This time, trade advantage, yes, Gateway United. Takes a long one there, but of course, we're cleared out. But this time, advantage has been given, yes, to Kun Khalifa FC. And it's that man, yes, Kenechukwu, the number 34 shirt. Takes a quick one there. Here they come now, moving forward now. Well defended there by, of course, Gateway United. And now they return back, of course, he has to take another throw in here this time. And it's that man, number 34, set Kene Chukwu. Takes a quick one there. Here they come now, of course, Gateway United. That was a very poor pass there. Wasted, if you ask me. An advantage falls back to Kun Khalifa here. Building from the back, that was a poor pass. Well cleared, of course, by that player now. Still have possession. That's a wonderful pass there, meets his marker. Here they come again, of course. But dispossessed by, yes, Gateway United. That's a very poor pass. And that would roll out for a goal kick advantage this time for Kun Khalifa FC. Beauty from the back again, of course. Kun Khalifa FC, here they come. I call them the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC. That player goes down. That's a foul, says the center referee. Advantage, Gateway United. They have a free kick, Gateway United. And of course, not forgetting he has a remarkable impartation as well as performance of the technical advisor of Kun Khalifa FC. Talking about, yes, Coach Obinna Uzo. I recall, of course, he was awarded by the Nigerian National League, that's the NNL, for the best coach of the month for last month. That's impressive, and of course, he has showed charisma. If you ask me, of course, that award alone will actually boost his CV, and of course, will be an icing on the cake for him. Not forgetting, of course, other members of the Kun Khalifa, yes, team who have actually been impactful, as I must say, so far so good to the success of this team. Then, of course, a player goes down. A player is down on the turf. The referee has a stop play to see the lengthy aspect of the injury of that player. And of course, the player is down on the turf, and the referee going to see the lengthy aspect of that one. And now the coach, Coach Obinna Uzo, using the opportunity to have some tete-a-tete, some words with his players. And like you can see, he's not happy with some of the play he has seen in a few minutes of play in this first 45 minutes right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. You can see him, of course, addressing his players. He's not happy with the style of play as well as, of course, what he has seen so far. He demands better performance and better display. A coach of his caliber building his portfolio as well as his credentials. Like I told you before, he has won the best coach of the month for last month from the Nigerian National League. That's to tell you, of course, he has something in common and still has something to offer. We're still searching for the very first goal of this encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's still match day 13 of the Nigerian National League. And here's a game, of course, between Kun Khalifa FC and Gateway United. Like I said before, I will recap again. If you check where, of course, you find Gateway United, they are seated, of course, on the bottom table with just 8 points. And of course, you have, yes, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC, who are first with a record 29 points on the table. That's massive, I tell you. Not forgetting, of course, the treasurer of the team, talking about AGK Hisense, well seated, and also, yes, viewing the outcome of this particular game. Here they have a free kick talking about Kun Khalifa due to that player's infringement there. That's a good one now from that player now. And of course, welcoming the licensing officer of, yes, the NNL, talking about, of course, a man who has gone far and wide. Advantage now, of course, given yes to Gateway United. They build from the back again. And of course, it's still very much goalless rare in the Dan Anyiam Stadium. No goals from Kun Khalifat FC. And of course, no goals from Gateway United. Here they have the ball, yes, Gateway United. Dispossessed now, of course, by Kun Khalifa. Here they come in their numbers. Still searching for the very first goal of this encounter. That's a beauty from that player. That's a true ball there. Well stopped by that defender, an eagle-eye defender for Kun Khalifa. If you watch the style of football, of course, that Coach Obina plays with Khalifa is a form of an attacking kind of football. Attack, attack, and attack. And of course, there's a throw in here for Kun Khalifa FC. That man, Kinechiku, number 34 shirt. And of course, the licensing officer of the NNL, talking about Kasarachi, is also present to be a part of this particular encounter. And of course, after here today, depending on the result we get here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium for Kun Khalifa FC, their next stop is an away game against First Bank FC. And that game should go down on the 5th of on the 10th of next month. That should be, of course, their next away game against First Bank FC. They have a throw in here at Gateway United. Remember, of course, in football, no team is too small. Like I will always say, football is 90 minutes, 11 man, 11 man. And of course, yes, I was correct. 2nd of next month. That should be, of course, another away match, yes, for 2nd, of course, of next month, yes, will be another away game for Kun Khalifa. Next stop for them, of course, is against First Bank FC away. Here they have a free kick talking about Gateway United. The very dangerous position. Takes a good one there. Well defended, of course, by Kun Khalifa. Here they come now in their numbers. Like I told you, of course, playing counter-attacking football. Being dispossessed by that player, and it's been let out for a trade advantage, Kun Khalifa FC. And of course, yes, they have a free kick here talking about Kun Khalifa FC.
Nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very dangerous It goes down. Is there a penalty?
Down. A chance here. Oh my word. That was a good chance, but of course there was no contact there at the box. And that has been let out for another goal kick advantage, this time Gateway United.
Nearest man, that's the captain of the side. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. A very dangerous. It goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no.
But the referee says no penalty. Here they come, Gateway United, a looping ball forward now. Well defended, of course, there by Kun Khalifa. Here he comes, of course, the Kinechuku now. That's a good touch there from number 34, Shet. It's a beautiful turning from that player for Gateway United. Now getting control and momentum, touching the ball here and there. Well, of course, he has defended there by Kun Khalifa. That's a looping ball forward now. A good chance here for this player to chase. A good chance there. That defender was very active for Gateway United. He foresaw the danger there, and yes, had to clear his lines. A chance here, a shot there! And of course, that was wide, not to worry the goalkeeper of Vunda for Kun Khalifa. That's a foul, says the central referee, advantage this time, Gateway United. They have a free kick here, Gateway United. That's a looping ball forward now. The player goes down, referee says play on. And of course, another player down there, of course, for Kun Khalifa. This time they get advantage with a free kick. Still very much goalless in this first 45 minutes right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Match day 13 of the Nigerian National League. The NNL, as you call it. A battle here between the Warriors of Kun Khalifa and Gateway United. Remember, of course, this commentary is brought to you by, of course, Kun Khalifa Media Crew and Kun Khalifa TV for transparency, as well as, of course, yes, a good quality view of all their games. And of course, he had to actually take that one out for a train advantage to avert any danger there. That defender for Kun Khalifa. And of course, yes, members and supporters of Kun Khalifa supporting their team. The supporters, fans, and their spectators in the stands cheering their team. That was a very wasteful ball from that player. He thought, of course, he had made a good pass. But then again, better luck next time. Train advantage this time to Gateway United. I must also give kudos, yes, to the president of Kun Khalifat FC, talking about, yes, Mr. Chukwudi Amefula. That was a good save, of course, from the goalkeeper of Kun Khalifa, talking about Vunda. That ball was going into at the back of the net, but of course he had to stretch to come to the rescue. That's a good catch again from Avunda. The shot stopper for Kun Khalifa FC. That's a good throw also. Here they come now in their numbers. Talking about, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC. That's a looping ball forward. A good chance here. And that's an advantage here for Kun Khalifa FC. They have a free kick in a very good position here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Still in search of the very first goal of this encounter. Where will the pendulum swing? Will it be, of course, from Kun Khalifa FC, or maybe as a Gateway United? So far, of course, there's been a ding-dong affair right here in this first 45 minutes. You can see the face of our coach, Uzo Obinna. He's not happy, of course, because he seeks that first goal. He knows the importance. They have a chance here. A chance here! Another chance here now! A shot, but of course, not too much to tempt the goalkeeper. That free kick, of course, hits the woodwork of Gateway United. And of course, the player is down on the top for Gateway United. And I feel, of course, he's seeking medical attention, but that player, of course, is up again on his feet. That's a good cross there now. A chance! Here they come now. That's a good cross there. That's a good cross there now. A chance. And of course, an easy catch for Vunda, for Kun Khalifa. That's a very poor goal kick there from Vunda. I can see his face so disappointed. And of course, apologizes to his teammates for that disastrous kick there. Here to come, of course, Gateway United. A shot there! And of course, that was still side netting. I mean, of course, the players of Kun Khalifa have to watch it, because these players are very dangerous. Although we know there are 8, of course, points on the bottom of the table, but they are very, very dangerous, I must tell you. Here they come again, of course, Gateway United. It's a good pass there, searching for that man up front. And of course, that's out for a trade advantage. And I will still fall to the part of Gateway United, ladies and gentlemen. Well, of course, still yes, goalless here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, match day 13 of the NNL campaign. This encounter going down between the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC and Gateway United. Across there, that's an easy catch for the goalkeeper there, Ovunda, for Kun Khalifa. It's a good clearance there. That's a good one also from that player. Here they come now, building again from the skipper there, Amefula. That player goes down, that's a foul, says the center referee, advantage Kun Khalifa. That player always fighting hard. Talking about, of course, yes, the number 25 shirt for Kun Khalifa. I'm talking about, yes, none other than Ebere. Very, of course, yes, strong at the front there, fighting for glory. Building from the back again, talking about, yes, Kun Khalifa FC. That player goes down, advantage this time, Kun Khalifa. And of course, here's a report from other fixtures of the NNL. ABSFC versus Sporting Lagos, still very much goalless in the first 45 minutes. Here they come again, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC, building from the back. Posted, of course, a true ball there in search of that player now. They have a chance here. But of course, that will roll out for a goalkeeping advantage, Gateway United. Here they come now, of course, Gateway United. I remember, of course, earlier in this game before the kickoff, an award of 100K was given to that young fan of the month for his remarkable display after that goal against Madiba FC in the last home game for Kun Khalifa. The little boy, of course, showed support and zealousness with his reaction. And of course, like they would tell you in our local palace, to whom much is given, much is expected. He never saw it coming. And of course, he was rewarded by the president of Kun Khalifa FC. Talking about Mr. Chukwudi Amefula, a man who has given his all to football as well as, of course, human capital development. Here to come now, of course, talking about, yes, Gateway United. That player is not being chased by anyone. He has a chance, of course, to flare around with the ball. That's a pass now. Good chance here for them again. He loops it, of course, forward. Here to come now. Referee says play on. Too much ball, of course, for that player to chase. And of course, for those who are actually viewing this game live from every part of the world, in Nigeria or any part of the world, through our link, do want to also put your predictions of this encounter. You never know, you might be rewarded for your kind predictions of this particular encounter. Which way do you think the pendulum will swing? Will it be in favor of Kun Khalifa FC or perhaps Gateway United? You can as well, of course, put your predictions on the comment section. And of course, 40 minutes being played in this first 45 minutes. So far, so good. It is still very much goalless here between these two sides. And of course, that's a call for a water break from the center referee due to the harsh weather condition here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. That's a poor mistake there from that defender. I hope he doesn't pay dearly for it. Here they come now, the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC. The captain of the side, dispossessed there. They still have the ball now. They have a chance here. A good chance here. And of course, they couldn't make use of that golden opportunity. They have seen other chances come their way, but they have failed to bury the ball into the back of the net. It's a good header there from that Gateway player. Here they come now. The keeper of the side, talking about, of course, yes, now Mayfuller, the number 4 man, who's the central midfielder. That player goes down, that's a foul. Says center referee. The player is down on the top there for Kun Khalifat FC. Some minutes, of course, to the end of the first 45 minutes of this encounter. Match day 13 of the NLL campaign in the Conference B. Going down here, of course, between, yes, the bottom place, Gateway FC. And, of course, yes, the toppers of the group. Talking about the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC. Dispossessed there, of course, by Gateway United. Searching for that man up front there. Guess his marker there, of course. What about Gateway United? They still have possession here. Across there! Oh my word! Kun Khalifat was very lucky there. That should have been a goal. But then again, of course, was too wide to trouble the goalkeeper of Vunda for Kun Khalifat. 2 players are down on the top. A player for Kun Khalifat and, of course, a player for Gateway United. And of course, yes, it's 3 minutes of added time in this first 45 minutes. According to, of course, the AR4. 3 minutes added time before we come to an end of the first 45 minutes right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. In this spectacular encounter between, yes, the Warriors of Kun Khalifat and Gateway United FC. No changes here from both sides. In the first 45 minutes. A looping ball forward now, searching for that player. That's a good turn. And of course, it's a trade advantage this time, Kun Khalifat. That's a free kick now, of course. Kun Khalifat FC. That player is still down on the top four. Yes, Kun Khalifat FC. Yes, a free kick here for Kun Khalifat FC. Ahead of there. And of course, that was over the crossbar. Good header there from that player for Kun Khalifa. And of course the clock is ticking, winding down to the end of this first 45 minutes. Of course, that brings us to the end of the first 45 minutes of this encounter. No goals from both sides. Talking about, of course, for Kun Khalifa or from Gateway United. Goalless it ended in the first 45 minutes. Let's see what awaits us in the second 45 minutes of this prestigious encounter. Remember, it's March Day 13 of the NNL campaign, Conference B. See you, of course, in the second 45 minutes. I'm K-Power, the comment is Sucrimos Papito. Bye for now.
Just to win 5,000 naira. If you fit score that empty net from here, 5,000 naira no. If you score 5,000 naira, only five.
Adjust.
Only five. I am the goal. Abu enter there. Saviola, let Abu play.
As well as, of course, Kun Khalifat TV to ensure yes transparency as far as their games are concerned.
Saviola.
As well as, of course, for TV to ensure yes transparency as far as their games are concerned.
Saviola.
The player goes down, that's a free kick there for Kun Khalifat.
Saviola,
to ensure yes transparency as far as their games are concerned.
Oh yeah, Shapali. Play.
The player goes down, that's a free kick there.
Over the bar.
Very good position there.
Kun
Khalifat to ensure your transparency as far as their games are concerned.
The first female. The first lady to play. Go back. 2 more people. Play with the goal. Play now. Thank you. Sit down. The winners follow me.
Because now is there a penalty. The referee says no. That was a clean penalty, but the referee just denied Kun Khalifa an early lead to this particular business encounter. There was a clear touch there, but the referee says no. No penalty. Very dangerous. Here he comes down. Very dangerous. He goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no. That was a clean penalty, but the referee just denied Kun Khalifa an early lead to this particular business encounter. There was a clear touch there, but the referee says no. No penalty. Have a chance. Very dangerous. Here he comes down. Very dangerous. He goes down. Is there a penalty? The referee says no. That was a clean penalty, but the referee just denied Kun Khalifa an early lead. Very dangerous. Here he comes. Very dangerous. Here he comes now. Very dangerous. He goes now. Is there a penalty? The referee says no. That was a clean penalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are prepared, of course, and geared up for the second 45 minutes right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, as we expect to see much more agility and drama here. In the first half or so, yes, a goalless moment between these two sides. Now is the time, of course, yes, for redemption, if you ask me, basically for Kun Khalifa, because here is their home soil. It's still a battle between these two sides. Of course, I call them the Warriors of Kun Khalifa and Gateway United. Well, so far so good, of course. It ended goalless in the first half. Let's see what the second half brings to us as we prepare for proceedings here in no due time. And of course, here's Kun Khalifa preparing to make some changes. 2 changes, of course, in this encounter as we begin the second half. And it's not number 11 man, the man they call Julius, who is getting set, of course, to be introduced in this second half for Kun Khalifa. And of course, Julius makes his way in. And of course, that's the decision of Julius, the number 11 man. And that's, of course, the number 13 shirt, yes. And of course, the two teams assembling before we begin proceedings here for the remaining 45 minutes here, right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. All is set for the remaining 45 minutes, the second half of this game. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the second 45 minutes of this encounter, Conference B of March Day 13 of this huge game between the Warriors of Kun Khalifa and, of course, Gateway United. The first half ended goalless between these two sides. Let's see, of course, what the second half brings to the table. Here they come, of course, with enough agility now. Talking about Kun Khalifa FC. Now they are more hungry. That's a poor pass intercepted by Gateway United. That's a looping ball forward in search of that attacker. Well defended, of course, yes, by Kun Khalifa. Dispossessed, of course, the captain there. You regain possession. That's a good pass there. Beautiful from that player now. Dispossessed again, of course, by Gateway United. That player goes down, of course. It's a foul, says the center referee. That player is still down on the turf. Looks good, of course, up again on his feet. That's a looping ball forward now in search of that player. Well defended again, of course, by Kun Khalifa. That's a looping ball forward in search of that player also. Here they come now. Playing tiki-taka football here, Gateway United. That's a good clearance from that defender for Kun Khalifa. The referee says, of course, free kick Gateway United in a very dangerous area and position. At this point, of course, the players of Kun Khalifa have to watch it. It seems as if, of course, these players are very, very aggressive and they are in search of a goal. If you check, of course, the current Conference B table, where you find, of course, both Kun Khalifa and Gateway United. You get to see, of course, Gateway United are at the bottom of the log with just 8 points. But, of course, you have Kun Khalifa topping the table with 29 points. Remember, of course, Rome was not built in a day. Kun Khalifa, of course, did not just arrive to this particular level. That's a good one! That's a good stop by Ovunda there. The number one stopper for Kun Khalifa, the Warriors. I can tell to you, of course, Kun Khalifa was not the road, the NNL. That's the Nigerian National League. All thanks, of course, to the support of the president. I'm talking about, of course, yes, Chukwudi Amefula, a man who loves football and, of course, grassroots development. I must tell you right here and right now. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, history can never be forgotten, I must tell you. Let me recall to you that, of course, Kun Khalifa, they reached the NLO playoff. That was in 2021. And they also won the ITO Cup in 2022, I hope you recall, right here in Imo State. Don't forget, of course, also that Kun Khalifa won the Nationwide League One in 2022 to actually gain promotion, of course, to the NNL, where they are applying their trade now. So getting to this level, of course, was not easy, but they fought their way through. And now they're still making us proud, of course, here in the city of Owerri. But right here and right now, the Dan Anyiam Stadium, they're still searching for a goal against Gateway United. Remember, of course, after this encounter is an away game, of course, waiting for Kun Khalifat against First Bank FC on the 2nd of next month. That's the next away game as far as the NNL is concerned. The pressure is getting worse right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. No goals yet, of course, from the two sides. Don't get it twisted, but ladies and gentlemen, like I told you before, you have, of course, here's the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC, done in the red and red jersey. And, of course, you have, yes, the Gateway United players done in the green and green jersey, just like the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Here they come again, of course, beauty from the back, talking about Kun Khalifat. It's a good looping pass up forward now. Here they come now. A good cross there. The referee says play on. And of course he says it's a wonderful cross there. But the goalkeeper, of course, for Gateway United was very active there at the back. So a few moments, of course, the players of Kun Khalifat, of course, begging for that penalty because there was a touch on that player in the box. Here they come again, they have a chance now. Fighting, of course, for that goal to come in the second 45 minutes. It's a looping ball now in search of that player. Across there, a chance! And of course, that was a very, very poor header from that player for Kun Khalifat. Here they come again, of course, beauty from the back. So looping ball there now, good chance there. Well defended, of course, yes, by Gateway United. Good defending there from Kun Khalifat. That's a handball, and of course, quickly taken there. And of course, that's to be let out for our corner kick advantage. The Warriors of Kun Khalifat. The pressure is getting worse and worse here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Because we're yet to get a goal from this encounter. A corner kick there. It's a good turn in there from that Gateway United player. That player goes down, of course. That player goes down, of course. Advantage this time. Gateway United, says the center referee. And of course, now here they come. A shot there. And of course, it's a goal kick advantage this time to the Warriors of Kun Khalifa. And of course, it's a free kick here for Kun Khalifa FC. That's a good one there. Chance here. A chance here. Oh! Oh my word! What was that player thinking? I thought that had gone into the back of the net for the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC. But of course, that player blew that chance. 45 minutes. And of course, yes, Kun Khalifa preparing to make 2 more changes in this second 45 minutes. Of course, yes, is the number 7 shirt, Chinedu Sunday, as well as the number 27 shirt. That about, of course, yes, Nora Onyedika, preparing, of course, to be introduced in this second 45 minutes, yes, for Kun Khalifa FC. Earlier, of course, before the start of this second half, we saw 2 changes being made by the head coach, Ozo Obinna. Now, of course, he's making 2 changes again, yes. In the second half. And of course, that's the short change of this game. And it's the number 7 man who steps into the fray. And number 11 will make way for him. And of course, yes, that player being introduced, the number 7 man. For the number 17, talking about, of course, yes, Ike Chukwu. He makes way, of course, yes, for his compatriot number 27. Talking about, of course, Honora Onyedika. These are the changes being made and, of course, effected by Coach Uzahu Obinna. Free kick here, Kun Khalifa, good chance here. And that's, of course, is here a penalty? I think, of course, the referee is still trying to, of course, make it clear to the players there. Remember, of course, if this game ends like this, it takes, of course, yes, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa FC 32 points on the log in the current Conference B table of the Nigerian National League. Like I told you before, of course, Coach Uzahu Obinna, to tell you, of course, he's building up his momentum and, of course, portfolio to a higher level. He was awarded, of course, the Coach of the Month. That was last month. The best coach, of course, in the current ongoing NNL campaign. You can take that to the bank, I tell you. The clock is ticking this time, of course, for Gateway United. If they can ravage a point live here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Well, so far so good. You can say, give an applause to Coach Uzahu Obinna. Here they come now, of course, in search of an equalizer now. Gateway United. Defending, of course. It's a ding-dong affair here, of course, with the head. Back home, of course, to the goalkeeper of Runda. Remember, of course, if this game ends this way, it's all 3 points for the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC. As they rise, of course, to 32 points on the log. I remember, of course, next up for the Warriors of Kun Khalifa is an away game, of course, on the 2nd of May. They battle First Bank FC. Most of us don't know that, of course, Kun Khalifa, of course, is a work in progress. They play the NLO, and of course, they migrated from the NLO by winning it, and were promoted to the NNL. Now they're still doing magic, of course, in the Nigerian National League. That's to tell you, of course, the owner of this team has a target. Talking about, of course, the president of Kun Khalifa and the person of Chukwudi Amefula. Of course, yes, Gateway United preparing for a change. And of course, it's the number 33 man to make way for the number 4 man for Gateway United right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. So that's a foul. This time advantage, Gateway United. Of course, that player still down on the turf. That player, of course, still down on the top, yes, for Gateway United. That goal, of course, coming in the 63rd minute of this game, courtesy of Sunday Chinedu. And that goal, of course, like I told you, coming in the 63rd minute, courtesy of Sunday Chinedu right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium for the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC. A player goes down, of course, for Kun Khalifa. It's a foul, says the center referee. A looping ball forward there. Working, of course, by that defender for Gateway United. They have a chance again. Goal kick advantage, of course, yes, Gateway United. Here they come now, Kun Khalifa. I wanted to give, of course, yes, an out-2 pass. But, of course, that was too much. This time he gives that, of course, away. Goal kick advantage this time to Goodwill United. Advantage this time, of course, Gateway United. Here advantage, yes, Gateway United. And of course, yes, advantage falls back to the Warriors of Kun Khalifat FC. And of course, he has a player sit down on the top for the Warriors of Kun Khalifa. Here, of course, with the ball now, talking about Gateway United. A good catch there for Vunda, the number 1 shot stopper for Kun Khalifa. Here to come now, Kun Khalifa now. Here to come now. A good pass there. Well defended, of course. Not a bad pass there from that player for Kun Khalifa. A good pass, but could not connect that player. Here to come, Gateway United. But of course, defended there by Kun Khalifa now. Very skillful, of course, captain there for Kun Khalifa. Talking about Ahmed Fuller Jr., the number 4 man. And of course, yeah. And the referee gives advantage, of course, yes, to the Warriors of Kun Khalifa now. That was so much, of course, let out advantage now. Given to Gateway United. A trade advantage, takes that one quickly now. A true ball looping forward there. But of course, were intercepted by that defender and clears his lines quickly. That's a poor clearance from that player for Kun Khalifat. Gives away the ball to Gateway United now. Here they have a chance to press now. Across there now. That's a good catch from Avunda. Good goalkeeping, of course, from the shot stopper for Kun Khalifat. That's a good pass there. The defender was lucky for Kun Khalifat. It's a good one there. Here they come now. Beautiful. It's a true ball there now. They have a chance. Kun Khalifat now. That's a good pass there. A shot there. A chance here now. Still with the ball. Across. Well defended, of course, by Gateway United. Of course, yes. He has, of course, clear his line as quick as possible. Here they come, of course, Gateway United now in search of an equalizing goal here. And of course, cleared out, of course, by Kun Khalifat there. Of course, yes, report from that game between ABS and Sporting Lagos, still very much goalless. 82 minutes being played on the clock. A chance here! A chance! It's no penalty! Ladies and gentlemen, another penalty here for Kun Khalifat. A touch on that player meant the referee will point at the penalty box there. Remember, Kun Khalifat got their first goal from the penalty position in the second half here. Can they make it two from the penalty area here? A clear touch from that player. Another touch from that serving ball from the goalkeeper Avunda. Wonderful through pass from that goalkeeper Avunda. Between ABS. A penalty! It's no penalty! A chance here! A chance! Good pass there from the goalkeeper. A chance here! Who was the one that orchestrated that beautiful goal. 82 minutes being played on the clock. A chance here! A chance! It's no penalty! Here they have a penalty again. Talking about, yes, Kun Khalifat FC, ladies and gentlemen. It's no penalty! But of course, that player failed to deliver. He failed to score that penalty. Oh my word, unbelievable.
Between ABS and Sporting Lagos, still very much goalless. 82 minutes being played on the clock. A chance here! A chance! It's no penalty!
Of course, he was the first scorer of the first penalty. Talking about Chinedu Sunday, but he failed to convert the second penalty here for Kun Khalifat. Very painful. That should have been an icing on the cake. And should have sealed the victory here for his team. But of course, yes, Chinedu Sunday failed to convert again from the spot.
Between ABS and Sporting Lagos, still very much goalless. 82 minutes being played on the clock. A chance here! A chance!
That was a clear penalty.
It's no penalty!
See the replay of that one. The contact.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But again,
another
Chiledu
penalty
Sunday failed to
here for
convert.
Kun Khalifa
The penalty
between
spot there.
ABS and Sporting Lagos.
he scored a very good penalty
goalless.
for the first time. He got the opportunity in the 63rd minute. But of course, he failed to convert the second penalty here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day 13 of the Nigerian National League, the NNL Conference B encounter. All around Nigeria, I tell you that.
It's no penalty! But of course, that player failed to deliver.
A chance for some conversation between the and the players of the both sides and the coaches to have some tete-a-tete. And of course, that's the replay of that penalty that was not being scored by Chiledu Sunday, who scored the first penalty. He could not convert there. Too bad. But then again, of course, yes, better luck to him next time. I must give kudos, of course, yes, to the goalkeeper of Kun Khalifa. Talking about it, yes, of course, Ovunda. He has been instrumental, of course, displayed a very, of course, quality performance here. Well, of course, intercepted there by Gateway United defense. Here they come again, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa. It's a good pass there. And of course, yes, well watched and defended there by Gateway United. Here they come again. That's, of course, a poor. Of course, that's a goal. I wonder, of course, what the goalkeeper was thinking. I wonder what the goalkeeper was thinking. He had to, of course, leave his position to come scamper for that ball. And he led to the player ballooning the ball, of course, into the back of the net. I wonder what that goalkeeper was thinking, talking about Ovunda. Of course, that's a goal. That was a silly mistake from the goalkeeper of Ovunda. Should have been at your goal post, at your duty. He had no business coming out of the post. Of course, that's a goal. I wonder, of course, what the goalkeeper was thinking. Here they have a chance now. Of course, that's a free kick yet, of course, the Warriors of Kun Khalifa. The fans and spectators are not happy with that equalizing goal. But it's all to the, of course, carelessness of the goalkeeper, Obinna, who left his line. So looping ball there now, they have a chance. A chance here now. A chance here. Oh, my word! Oh! Oh my word! That should have been the equalizing goal. But of course, you never say never, I tell you. In football, it's 90 minutes, 11 man, 11 man. It is not over until it's over, ladies and gentlemen. Live right here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, the Conference B encounter. So looping ball there now. They have a chance. A chance here now. Gateway United. A chance here. The table has turned. Oh my word! It's now Gateway United 1, Kun Khalifa 1. That's a good pass here. Here they come again. Intercepted, of course, by Gateway United now. Here they have a chance to break now. A chance for Kun Khalifa to break. A good chance there. But of course, a very good catch for the goalkeeper for Gateway United. And of course, that's when they had banged in that penalty. It would have been a lifeline for them. But of course, that man, yes, Sunday, Chinedu failed to convert again from the spot. So wonderful pass there now from, yes, that man, Chinedu Sunday. Here they come again. That's a good chance to chase. And of course, yes, advantage falls back to and of course, here now, piling the pressure, talking about, of course, yes, Gateway United, but dispossessed this time by Kun Khalifa. Here they come now, Kun Khalifa now, in search of a goal, the ending part of this second half now. Oh no, dispossessed, of course, by the Gateway United players. Here they come now, of course, in the numbers. Oh my word. They have a chance here now. Gateway United. Oh my word. Very lucky there, of course, Kun Khalifa. Very, very lucky there. But again, of course, a poor performance from the goalkeeper, allowing that goal to go in. He had no business leaving his goal line. Here they come now, Kun Khalifa. It's a good pass now inside of the keeper himself, Ame Fula Jr., the number 4 shirt. But of course, it's been dispossessed there. It's a low pass there now. Back to, of course, the goalkeeper, Obin now, Vunda. Of course, 6 minutes at a time, of course, for the game to come to a 90 minutes of close. Hello? And of course, yes, a shot there blocked, of course, by that player for, yes, Kun Khalifa. Here they come now, beauty from the back. Talking about the boys of Kun Khalifat FC now. That's a cross there. Well, of course, defender by Gateway United. Fighting hard, of course, for glory here. Here they come now. Here they come now. Pressing forward. That's a good pass there. They have a chance to break. A player goes down. The referee says the free kick in a very good position for Kun Khalifat to redeem themselves. They have a chance here now, of course. A chance here. That's a shot there. And, of course, to the hands of the goalkeeper for Gateway United. And of course, yes, it's the see if the Gateway United players now pressing. And of course, now here they come. Of course, it's a throw-in now, advantage this time. Of course, a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat side. Here they have a chance to break now. A good chance to break. Goal! That's an equalizing goal! Ladies and gentlemen, that's them number 7 boy. Chinadu Sunday. Chinadu Sunday is his name. A wonderful player. He scored the first penalty in the 63rd minute. He missed the second penalty, and this time he came back to give the winning goal to Kun Khalifa. What a boy. Chinedu Sunday is his name. Quality player. And of course, he had to redeem himself. And that penalty missed. That's the replay of that goal. Oh my word, Riva Dacia Italia. A beautiful finish from that guy. Very strong and dogged, I tell you. Good finish from Chinedu Sunday again. Scored the first penalty. Missed the second penalty. And of course, he has gotten the winning goal for Kun Khalifa FC. What a player. What a player, I tell you. Chinedu Sunday, the number 7 man.
So of course, a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifa side. Yeah, they have a chance to break now.
Number 8 man was the goal scorer there.
Chance to break. Goal!
Of course, yes. Oh my word! Oh my word! They got the goal, but of course, the equalizing goal there from Gateway United is 2-2 now. Khalifa 2, Gateway United 2. Everyone asking the questions, what went wrong? What really happened there? The player standing and looking, no one could slide down. Everyone standing and looking. But football is for you that way. Some days you win, some days you lose and draw. But that was a silly goal that went in.
Oh my word! Oh.
Of course, that's the end of this game. Full 90 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Conference B of the NNL campaign between Kun Khalifa and Gateway United. It is Kun Khalifa 2, Gateway United 2. The two teams, of course, share the spoils and they share 2 points in this encounter. But then again, of course, I must tell you, Gateway United move up to 9 points. But of course, you have Khalifa who move up to 30 points on the log. Still leading, of course, in the Conference B table. My name is K-Pack, of course, who gave you lots of commentary. They call me the Supremos Papito. Until we meet again, do have a blessed evening. Bye for now. And of course, thanking every supporters, fans, and spectators who came around, of course, to show support to Kun Khalifa players and their fans. As well as, of course, yes, the president of Kun Khalifa FC, talking about, of course, yes, Mr. Chukwudi Amefula. The players are not happy, the spectators are not happy due to this result. But that's football for you. Some days are like that, I tell you. And of course, you can see rejoicing, of course, and happiness in the face of the Gateway FC players. But Kun Khalifa had this game in their coffers, but they gave away everything just at the last ending part of this encounter. That's football for you. Anything can happen. It is not over until it's over. Until you hear the whistle, I tell you. And that's the end of the full 90 minutes here at the Dan Anyiam Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Till we meet again next time. Good night, Nigeria. Good night, Owerri. And of course, good night, Africa. My name is K Park. They call me the Supremos Papito. And of course, if you call me a Fumbaji and a Mouthload, I go answer Namuku. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Bye for now.
Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh my word! So of course, a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat side. Yeah, they have a chance to break now. A good chance to break. Goal! So of course, a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat side.
So looping ball there now. They have a chance. A chance here now.
Yeah, they have a
chance
chance to
here.
break now.
Oh my word!
Chance to break.
Oh! Oh my word! Ball. Leon, of course, that's a goal.
Ball. Leon, of course, that's a goal. I wonder, of course, what the goalkeeper was thinking. Yes! It's no penalty! Between ABS and Sporting Lagos, still very much goalless. 82 minutes being played on the clock. A chance here! A chance! It's no penalty! Leon, of course, that's a goal. I wonder, of course, what the goalkeeper was thinking.
So looping ball there now. They have a chance. A chance here now. A chance here. Oh my word! Oh! Oh my word! So of course a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat side. Yeah, they have a chance to break now. A good chance to break. Goal! So of course a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat side. Yeah, they have a chance to break now. A good chance to break. Goal! So of course a looping ball forward now from that defense line from the Kun Khalifat.